Hi, this is Charisma at Charisma's Corner, and I just wanted to do another little video. We talked about this a couple days ago when I posted my last wool penny video, and I wanted to discuss how to use the little scraps of thread that you accumulate while you're working on stitches. And so you know how you get that little nest of thread that has all the little bits and pieces in it? Yeah, well, I don't like having that. It's like part of the little OCD in me that just wants to use every little piece of thread because we spend a lot of money on that thread, and B, to just be able to start fresh on a new project. And so the first one I have here is this square right here, and you can see it's all just a bunch of lazy daisies that sort of make this blooming flower. And you can see that there's, I don't know, 4 different colors of thread that I put into this flower, because there's like this little turquoise blue, white, yellow, orange. And even though it might look like the same color orange, it's actually a couple different colors of orange thread that I used in there. And then I just put a drizzle stitch in the middle of that to give it a little bit of dimension. So you can see again in this one square we have lazy daisies, we have the back stitch, a French knot, a drizzle stitch, and you know, so 4 or 5 stitches makes this one square, confetti square. And so I have the same thing going on here. This particular wool penny project I am doing just red, white, and blue sort of a theme, so turquoise, grays, you know, are all allowed. But anyway, so I sort of have a specific theme going on. So I'm doing the same exact flower that I did here, but I'm adding it into a wool penny circle, and I'm just sort of adding those little bits and pieces as I go. So you can see I just sort of put a foundation in there, and then I just sort of build in the layers as I go around. And so the second one that I do is this one. It's just a chain stitch, and I'm just going across. And so you can see these are all just the little bits of thread. So it doesn't matter how thick the thread is, how much that you have. I just stitch along as far as I can go, end it, and then add the next one. So I think obviously the more colors that you have, the more interesting it looks, but that seemed to be a lot of grays and whatever. So I'm doing the same thing here. And so this one I'm not doing lines, although you could do that on the wool penny. I just decided to do a circular thing, and I sort of went off center because I sort of like that look. And it just makes it easier when you're quilting, or when you're stitching, sorry. So anyway, I'm just building on that, and so I just have this little bit of thread, and so I just thought I'd do a few stitches to just kind of show, you know, what I'm doing there. Ooh, oops. So it's just your regular chain stitch. So you're going in, and I'm just going around and around. So just like the lines on the wool confetti square, the more colors and the different thicknesses of thread, the more interesting that this is going to be in the end. And it just adds some interest, but it also fulfills that need for me to use all of those leftover pieces of thread. So the next one that I do is the drizzle stitch one. And I don't know if you guys have been following along with a lot of mine. This hardly has any, but by the end of this piece, this thing will be so full of drizzle stitches because I just use all of the ends of thread and it fills up. And I just love this one. It's probably my favorite one out of all of them just because it gets so dimensional with the textures. So I'll just do a drizzle stitch here just to show, and I just randomly put it. I don't really pay attention to the colors or anything, because by the time this thing is done, it has so many colors that it just doesn't matter. And all of these stitches that I'm showing, I already have videos specifically for them, so this is strictly just to show you how to use all of those bits and pieces of thread and the ideas to do that. So these ones don't have as many stitches probably, you know, it's basically just 2 stitches per block, because I'm just really using these not so much as a design thing, but as a function to fill the, or to use all of the leftover threads. So so there's that one, and I can show that in another video after I finish this, because I think I'll do a quilting video on this, on how it looks. But so we have the chain stitch, we have the, I call it like the mum flower, the drizzle stitch, and then there's always one where I use a seed stitch somewhere, and I don't have it in here yet, but it's, oh, right here, sorry. So this is a really simple one. I just did a chain stitch. It has a little wool penny in the center. I did some French knots around it, and then I did seed stitches in the middle of that flower just to give it some interest. But you know, that is a good way to also use all of the different bits and pieces of thread that we have. So those are some ideas to get you started, and you can see that I'm making pretty good progress on this wool penny project, and I'll go through some of those stitching combinations with you as I go along, and of course I'm working on a second one. So anyway, thank you for joining Charisma's Corner, and I hope that this is a valuable information to help you use those bits and pieces of thread, and help you with some designs on your pennies. So if you have any to add or share, please do that. I love to see everybody's creations, and you can also join me on Charisma's Corner. That's my blog, just charismascorner.com, and then Facebook and Instagram. Thanks a lot. Bye.